Whenever I'm talking to a prospective student and I'm talking to them about intellectual property as an area of law that is extraordinarily exciting and you can do amazing things, the question that I get asked every time is, well, I don't have a science background, so I can't practice an IP. So what I really like to do is to start convincing students that the vast majority of people who work in intellectual property do not have a STEM background, do not have a background in science. I'm a medieval historian by training, and I've been an intellectual property attorney and professor now for 3 decades. So you clearly do not need to have a STEM degree to practice as a lawyer in the intellectual property regime. When you think about all the different areas of intellectual property, the ones that should immediately come to mind are things like movies and music and entertainment of any kind. That's copyright law. You do not need to have any kind of technical background in order to practice in copyright law. You think of other areas of intellectual property, and maybe that's part of the issue is students don't know all of these offhand, but the other areas are like brand. What's the name of your company going to be? How do we promote that? Advertising. That is intellectual property. You do not need to have a science background or even an interest in science in order to practice as a trademark prosecuting attorney. If you have a STEM background, there's an area of intellectual property that's there for you. You can prosecute patents. But every other aspect of intellectual property, from protecting copyrights or trademarks, figuring out their valuations, helping businesses think about their intellectual property assets, and at the end, maybe even litigating over them, none of those require a background in science. Being a lawyer is not always the easiest profession, but doing what you love as a lawyer makes it extraordinarily easy. So if you have a passion for any of those things, for again, music, just technology, the internet, TikTok, if you love those things, guess what? You like intellectual property. And learning those underlying regimes, I think, is incredibly important for doing it.